Hey, do you guys remember earlier in the day when I made that video about the Silent Hill 2 remake team saying and just begging us to give them a chance? Yeah, they're not the only ones doing it, as the producers and developers behind the new Borderlands film are also begging audiences to just give them a chance. Are video games and video game adaptations just cursed or something? Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and yes, Take-Two CEO responds to abysmal reception of Eli Roth's live-action Borderlands, asks fans to give the film a chance. And no, I'm not going to be giving it a chance. Not in the slightest. Because of this individual right here, Jamie Lee Curtis. Not just Jamie Lee Curtis, really it's the whole cast. Like, there is nothing appealing about this film as a Borderlands film. It looks like an SNL parody of Borderlands, just with a higher budget than probably any SNL film besides, like, maybe MacGruber. Either way, nothing. You've all seen how it was at, I assume you've seen at least, how the Rotten Tomatoes score was sitting at a nice fat 0% until fucking Grace Randolph, of all people, knocked it up to a 4% with her positive review. I almost respect it because, you know what, at least maybe she's got a mind of her own. Like, if all the critics were in lockstep with how awful this movie was, and she was like, you know, I kind of liked it. Okay, at least you're not just going with the crowd. That's the nicest thing I could say about you, Grace. But, you know, I'm not going to give this a chance. I'm not going to throw away my hard-earned money for something that, from the trailers alone, you could tell didn't give a flying fuck about the games they were based on and was just meant to cash in on the name and popularity of the IP. An IP that hasn't had a good game in years, by the way. In the face of its absolute panning by critics, the CEO of Borderlands series publisher Take-Two is asking fans to give Eli Roth's live-action film adaptation of the Gearbox-developed looter shooter series a chance. It is so weird that we're covering two different studios saying this in the same day, and both of them related to video games. One, an actual game, Silent Hill 2, and the other one, a live-action adaptation of a video game, Borderlands. Like, are we just in the season of these studios, whether it be gaming or film studios, begging fans because they know no one wants to show up for this? We've seen the summer blockbusters and you know, the fact that what's made money, fucking Deadpool and Longlegs, and like that's it. Did Late Night at the Devil make money? I don't know, but that wasn't summer anyway. Like Deadpool and Longlegs, I think. Oh, and Twisters. I think Twisters may have made money. It had a really strong opening weekend. That's not the point. The point is, gaming has been getting demolished financially because fans have turned their back on the industry as a whole, at least the AAA industry. Now, we also have the film industry, which has been in the gutter for, I would say, even longer than gaming, and they know fans don't give a good goddamn about this film, and they are doing their damnedest to just say, please make this movie a success. We need you to come. Pay no attention to the fact that, unlike with the Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario films, we couldn't care less about the source material of the fans. Please make us money. Arriving roughly a decade after the iron was hot for such an adaptation, the live-action Borderlands film has been, to say the least, an absolute miss with critics thus far. As of writing, the film currently holds, a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I guess at least one other critic has given it a positive review. Good for you. Nice. Rotten Critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, having received only three positive professional reviews about the 45 given to it so far. I cannot wait to see what Jeremy Jahns has to say about this movie. Holy shit. I also can't wait to see what Vex Electronica has to say about it, but that's for a whole different reason. I never played the games, but I got a kick out of Blanchett starring in a movie like this, and doing a great job. Reads the film's most objectively positive review, as left by Beyond the Trailers' Grace Randolph. I knew it. You can't have a Bounding into Comics article about this subject without mentioning her. Who wrote this one? Was it Spence? Yeah, Spence, you're an absolute gem. I love you, buddy. Make sure to check out his channel, Kabuto Studios, and to check out some of my old podcast episodes with him on. He is an absolute delight. I do wish the script had been adjusted a bit better to accommodate her age. Blanchett fans will enjoy this. Not sure about anyone else. You gave the movie a positive review and only talked about one actress based on a video game series you admit you haven't played and know nothing about. Grace, don't ever change. God, you are the gift that keeps on giving. Oh yeah. Here's Claptrap. I wonder. I actually don't think that the Jet Black controversy is going to play into this film's failing really at all. Like, yeah, the Tenacious D stuff happened, and he and Kyle Gass said some shit about the Trump assassination, but I think most people have already forgotten about that. People just aren't going to see this movie because it's looked completely terrible from the first trailers. Notably, while the film also presently holds a 60% audience rating, that is far better than it should probably be. You all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. It should be noted that not only is the film yet to officially release to general audiences, but the number of positive ratings were given by either diehard Borderlands fan. Wait. If it was given by diehard Borderlands fans, wouldn't that mean it's good and then it actually follows the source material? Well, by God, I could end up being wrong. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's, by the way. Five Nights at Freddy's was a fantastic adaptation because, again, it gave fans what they wanted. It was true to the source material. And I'm saying that as an absolute Five Nights at Freddy's fucking hater, but I'll acknowledge when you give the fans what they want, even if it's something I'm not a fan of. Anyway, sorry, just him saying Borderlands fans reminded me of this. Or in the case of a user who opined, this movie is not as good as Bucky Larson Born to be a Star or Megamind vs. Doom Syndicate, but it was good enough to make me leave my wife for over 5 years. Very clear, so that's fucking amazing. If they are giving fake positive reviews with this level of trolling, that's actually impressive because that's the sort of humor from the game. So the people leaving the reviews are more accurate to the game than the film probably is. Holy shit, that's beautiful. Likewise, based on 23 total critic reviews, the Cate Blanchett and Kevin Hart-led film holds a generally unfavorable, that's what we're going to call 7%? Generally unfavorable? Aggregate score of 29 on fellow aggregator. Okay, so it's a 29, but you still have 100. That's more than generally unfavorable. Metacritic, with only one review, that being from Screen Rant's Taichian Hoolander, no idea, being considered outright positive, and even then, said review acknowledges that some jokes fall flat, perhaps due to pacing or editing, and the movie rushes through plot points without luxuriating in the finer detail. Okay, to be fair, that's also pretty accurate to the games. Just I might get some heat for saying that, but it is what it is, guys. Be honest with yourselves. Given the film's less than stellar reception ahead of the company's Q1 2025 earnings call, IGN's Rebecca Valentine sought to press the aforementioned CEO, Strauss Zelnick, as to whether or not success or failure of the live-action Borderlands would have any impact on Take-Two's overall operations. Sorry, excuse me. In turn, the exec asserted, let's give the film a chance. There it is, boys and girls. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's give it a chance. That's what they want. They're begging you, please, oh, please give the film a chance. Absolutely goddamn not. A lot of people worked really hard on it, he explained. That is not a good enough reason to give the film a chance. First of all, I don't actually believe a lot of people worked really hard on this, but even if they did, yeah, if you work really hard at making a shit sandwich, it's still a shit sandwich. I'm not gonna take me a big old bite just because you worked really fucking hard on it. That's retarded. The underlying intellectual property is phenomenal. The cast is amazing, and I think the look and feel is really terrific. So let's see what audiences have to say. But to answer your question, no, the performance of the film wouldn't have a financial impact on us or the franchise one way or another. To be fair, it's a dead franchise, so yeah, probably not. For those looking to suffer through what appears to be an absolutely awful adaptation of an already Reddit humor tier heavy series. So, Spence, you go too hard, my man. Borderlands officially opens its vault on August 9th. Oh boy, this was a slog. Not the article. The article was great, but just having to think about where we are at in terms of nerd culture. Like notice how all 3 videos today I haven't even mentioned the word woke. Holy shit, I just realized that. Like, this is my 3rd video of the day, and I haven't even said the word woke. That just goes to show it is not all about wokeness this, or ideology that, or left-leaning blah, blah, blah. No, nerd culture is just in shambles because, frankly, we didn't gatekeep enough, and, look, we only got ourselves to blame in some respect. I mean, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna put all the blame on us, but, we were far too nice for far too long, and now we've got studios begging us in both gaming and movies to please give their products a chance now that we nerds are finally standing up and saying, bro, enough is a fucking enough. And I couldn't be happier, because if they are begging, that means they see the writing on the wall. Or in the case of Borderlands, they see the graffiti on the wall. Because, yeah, there is no coming back from this. We have planted our feet firmly on the ground and said, we're done. We reject this. You give us what we want, or we give you the bird. And that's what gamers and just nerds in general, the world over, are doing. Not just in video games, not just in movies. Take a look at the American comic scene. American comics are outright dying, if not dead. Sure, there's like some semblance of an indie scene, but even that is just like for just the die-hard comic fans, and that's not enough to really sustain an industry long-term or make it mainstream, which I guess not going mainstream would probably be the best for it in the long run, because, well, we saw what happened with all this other stuff with mainstream. But the point I'm trying to make is, I think the tides are finally turning. We might have to suffer through a couple more years of shit before we finally start getting good product again. I think the new Hellboy movie looks like it might be pretty good, but all in all, I can only look at this L as an accidental W. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please just subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about the failings of the video game and film industry, though I do love talking about that. But anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 80 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. So if that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.